Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome back to Motor Solutions with me Zuhal Ashok and my guest John Duncombe. Our tonight's topic is disputed accident claims. আপনাদের যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে আপনারা স্ক্রিনে যে নাম্বারটা দেখতেছেন নাম্বারে ফোন করলে আমার গেস্টের সাথে এবং আমার সাথে সরাসরি স্টুডিওতে আপনারা কথা বলতে পারবেন। তাছাড়া আপনারা আমাদেরকে ইমেলও করতে পারবেন, ইমেল আইডিটাও আছে স্ক্রিনের মধ্যে, টেক্সট মেসেজও করতে পারবেন, কোনো সমস্যা নাই। আমার মনে হয় একজন কলার অলরেডি লাইনে আছেন, দেখি কলার কে আছেন লাইনে। হ্যালো কলার, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম আশিক ভাই।
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম ভাই, কে কইরা?
আমার নাম আব্দুল করিম।
নামটা আবার খোকা ভাইয়া?
আব্দুল করিম।
আচ্ছা ভাইয়া, আপনার প্রশ্নটা করোকা প্লিজ।
আমার প্রশ্ন
আপনার টিভি মিউট করছেন নি আপনি?
জি জি
মিউট করছেন না, আপনি একটু একোইং করা। আচ্ছা খোকা,
আচ্ছা বাসের লোক অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট হয়েছে।
আপনার মাঠটা আসলে আমি স্ট্রাগল করলাম কিন্তু মাঠটা ক্লিয়ার নাই ফর সাম রিজন।
ওনে উন্ডানি
যে হুন্ডাম খোকা।
Okay. What happened? My son was involved with the bus with the accident a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And what's actually happened? First, the bus driver gave her telephone number, which was wrong. It was a replacement bus service from West Chapel to Shidewell, I think. And then my son's got bus driver's number and everything, telephone number. And then he rang her number when she was there, and it was the wrong number. So then she said to the bus driver, "Why did he give me the wrong number?" Oh, she said, I had a hard day, this and that. I had to hurry up, keep the bus to the depot, this and that. And she gave her all our bus details, And I took her to accident management. And they are chasing that company up. But first of all, when she was involved in the accident, first 3 months, the bus company didn't even reply to the letter. Then what actually happened, they wrote again and again and again. First she said she wasn't even involved with the accident. Then she said she was.
Right.
And now they're not responding to my claim, you see. It's been a year and a half.
It's been a year and a half. It's been a year and a half, but you do have the full details now, the buses, registration numbers, and all other details.
Yeah, we've got everything, but...
Okay, now stay on the line. Let's see what John says about this. John, if...
The first question I'm going to ask you is, what are you actually claiming for?
But for the damage to my car and also personal injury.
Okay, and do you have a solicitor representing you?
Yeah. But the thing is, they keep writing letters to the bus company, and the bus company is writing letter to her, but she's not responding to their letter.
Right.
She said she wasn't involved in the accident.
Okay.
And she admitted she was, but it wasn't her fault.
Well, it seems to me that they're typically trying to put you off by delaying tactics. My own view, for what it's worth, is after you have discussed the matter with the other side a number of times, there's not much more you can do except issue legal proceedings. I would suggest that the next stage is to ask your solicitor when they intend to issue legal proceedings, because the chances are it won't go to court, but what will happen is there will then be a court timetable, so people can't then ignore you. If they ignore you, there'll be penalties. So the next stage is, as I once had, I'll talk to anybody as long as there's a timetable ticket behind me, which will move the matter on. Have you had a medical, and there's a medical report?
Yeah, the medical report has been already been done.
Right.
They took me for a medical.
Yep.
And they've also sent the medical to the other party as well, but they're not responsible to it.
Right. It seems to me there's no reason now, if you've got the medical report, all the evidence, if they're not responding to you, the reason we have courts is to make sure that disputes like this are settled. The next stage is don't be frightened. Please don't be frightened about legal proceedings. It does get things moving. While you're just talking, they've got no real incentive to answer. I would suggest you just speak to your solicitor and find out what their intentions are.
Yeah, if it's been 18 months already.
18 months.
Is saying we're chasing them up.
Yeah, well, 18 months is plenty of time.
They're not responding to it.
But chasing is not going to always work. As John said, tell your solicitor, your obviously son's solicitor, to prepare the documents and go for legal proceeding. Issue legal proceeding, and that's the only way they will talk.
They wrote a letter about legal proceeding.
No, if they write a letter, It's clear that the other side are not responding or they're not moving it on. Once the legal proceedings are set, there is a court timetable, they have to respond.
Okay then. Thank you.
ঠিক আছে নি ভাইয়া
Okay, Bhaiya. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And don't be frightened of courts.
ক্লিয়ার হইছে তো নাকি তার জনের নাম্বার নিয়ে যখন ফিউচারে প্রবলেম হইলে জনের লগে মাত্র চাইলে মারতে পারবা আপনি বুঝছেন নি থ্যাংক ইউ আপনার আসলে মূল্যবান কোয়েশ্চেনের লাগি আমরা আসলে ডিসপিউটেড ক্লেম লইয়া আমরা মাত্র আপনার যে ক্লেমের মধ্যে যেটা হইয়া দাঁড় আপনার থার্ড পার্টি ক্লিয়ারলি ইগনোরিং অল করসপন্ডেন্স now obviously as John said earlier they can't always ignore you. There's obviously up to at the moment they got nothing to lose. They can ignore you as much as they want, but if you're a lawyer issue court proceedings, then they can't ignore you. Okay, if they do, it's even better for you because your lawyer could put everything together, your personal injury evaluation, or if there's any higher costs involved, or your vehicle damage and everything, and if they do ignore you, then they might become liable for every single pennies. I mean, if they do negotiate with you, there is, I mean, this come back to you, there is a chance always they can pay you a less amount by negotiating.
Negotiation is about.
Otherwise, if they keep ignoring you, and if your lawyer issues a court proceeding against them, and they might obtain judgment against the other party, and if that happens, then I mean, it's a win-win situation for you.
Yeah, and as I say, the bottom line is you've discussed enough with them. There's only so many letters to write. If everything's in place, issue the proceedings.
Yes.
And never be frightened of it.
Thank you. And this is where again, like I mean, this is where experience is so important. This is why. Where even the clients will have to understand who's dealing with their claim. Now, if it's a junior trainee lawyer, then it's always worth at some stage to actually sit down with the senior lawyer in the firm. Every firm has got experienced lawyers.
Of course.
They wouldn't ever run a firm full of inexperienced lawyers. Now, there are good experienced lawyers, every firm's got it undoubtedly, but it's just the juniors who has to realize on the right time when to pass the file over.
That's it.
And when to sit down with the senior and say, this is it.
Yes, there has to be a point where, as lawyers, we do what lawyers do, which is go to court. There has to be a point to that.
Yeah.
No one must be frightened.
And lawyers shouldn't be afraid of courts.
A lawyer shouldn't be afraid of it, but the client shouldn't be afraid of it because they'll have someone looking after them. It's not like you see on TV with big wigged judges frightening people. It's quite sensible.
Yeah, you can. They can get experience from that as well.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you. I'll come back to you. Let's see who's on the line. Hello, caller. Assalamu alaikum. Caller, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
ভাই কইরা কইতো না কইরা
আচ্ছা আমার নাম মাসুদুল ইসলাম আমি হেস্টিং থেকে বলছিলাম
হেস্টিং থেকে ফোন করছেন ভাই আপনার প্রশ্নটা করুক
আচ্ছা আমার হচ্ছে ট্যাক্সি গাড়ি আর কি তো আমার একটা অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট হয়েছিল তো যে গাড়ির সাথে অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট হয়েছিল ওটা হলো স্টোলেন কার জি জি
ওকে এন্ড when did that happen
আমার গাড়িটা হচ্ছে এটা কোম্পানির গাড়ি ছিল
আপনার গাড়িটা কোম্পানির গাড়ি ছিল নাকি
জি জি আমার ট্যাক্সি কোম্পানির গাড়ি
আচ্ছা
আচ্ছা তো এখন আমি কি পার্সোনাল ইনজুরি ক্লেম করতে পারবো
কবে হয়েছিল আপনার ওইটা
এটা 1 বছরের কাছাকাছি
1 বছরের কাছাকাছি আপনি কি সাথে সাথে আপনাদের এখন পার্সোনাল ইনজুরি ক্লেম করতে চাচ্ছেন আপনার কি মেডিকেল রেকর্ড আছে আপনি কি আপনার জিপির কাছে গিয়েছিলেন আপনার যে ইনজুরিটার জন্য ক্লেম করতে চাচ্ছেন ওইটার জন্য কোনো ট্রিটমেন্ট নিয়েছিলেন আপনি
হ্যাঁ আমি ডক্টরের কাছে গিয়েছিলেন
তাহলে কোনো সমস্যা নাই আপনি ক্লেম করতে পারবেন আপনার এনটাইটলমেন্ট আছে আপনি ক্লেম করতে পারবেন কোনো সমস্যা নাই
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা তো ওটা কিভাবে করতে হবে একটু
ওইটা করতে হবে আপনি দেখুন লয়ার ধরে আপনার লয়ারের কাছে আপনার ফুল ডিটেইলস যদি আপনি দিয়ে দেন লয়াররা অবভিয়াসলি আপনি আপনার লয়ারের কাছে স্টেটমেন্ট দিবেন কিভাবে হয়েছে না হয়েছে ওরা লয়াররা আপনাকে মানে ফার্দার অ্যাডভাইস করবেন কোন স্টেজে কি করতে হবে না করতে হবে সবকিছু আপনার লয়াররা আপনাকে আপনার লয়ার যিনি হবেন উনি আপনাকে গাইডেন্স দিবেন আর যদি আমাদের কোনো নেটওয়ার্কের কোনো লয়ার এখানে যদি আপনার জনের সাথে যদি আলাপ করতে চান আপনি ফোন করে পরে আপনি জনের নাম্বারও নিয়ে নিতে পারেন
আমি কোথা থেকে নাম্বারটা পাবো
আবার ফোন করে আপনি কন্ট্রোল রুম থেকে নাম্বার নিয়ে যাবেন
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে ওকে থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ
ঠিক আছে থ্যাংক ইউ
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. So disputed claims, the people do get asked a lot of questions, and we was talking about replacement cars. Okay, now we was talking about insurance companies not settling the claim quick enough.
Exactly, yeah.
If they did, then obviously the claim size of the claim could have been much smaller. The payout probably could have been much smaller than actually they do pay, you know, sometimes. Now, we said, like, obviously in your experience that day by day, obviously the insurance company is getting tougher and tougher. And they also have a valid reason as well. I mean, valid reason, a lot of people actually in the past, even now, they are abusing the system. Do you agree with that?
Yep. I think there may be, as in all walks of life, some people abusing the system, but I think it's very small percentage.
Abusing, you saying?
In my experience, it's alleged by insurance companies increasingly, but the ones that actually, in truth, are abusing it are very, very small, a very, very small percentage. And they will be caught out.
Yeah.
And remember, not only will they be caught out because of the other side's arguments, their own lawyer will not want to run it. I would not want to deal with a claim where there is a liar as a client.
How often do you have consultation with your clients?
We would always discuss with our clients.
Discuss with the clients?
Yeah.
And do you always try easy or staff are trained enough to sense fraud on the phone?
My staff are usually well enough experienced, and if they've got any concerns, they will always discuss it. We always have meetings where we discuss potential problems with clients.
Yeah.
Remember, the claimant lawyer is dealing with things generally on a no-win, no-fee basis.
It's your own interest to assess the claim properly.
Exactly. Why would we want a case that we weren't going to...
If you touch a bad claim, you're not getting paid.
We're not going to win.
You're not going to pay. So why would you want to obviously back up someone who is not telling you the truth?
That's exactly it. So as the first port of call, we want to make sure the claim is valid and it's a good claim. Now, again, we have to take our client at their face value, but if something is not right or it doesn't add up or the evidence is not there, we will not want to deal with it.
Because if you don't assess the claim properly, then you're losing thousands of pounds.
Exactly.
Because you're paying everybody a very high salary. And
I'm paying salaries to deal with a case that I'm not going to be paid on.
Yeah, yeah. So it is obviously now a lot of people. They do get obviously involved in, or they get involved in accidents sometimes. Straightforward claims, it could be obviously rear and shun, you know, I mean, they probably sustain injuries, you know, genuine claims and everything. But they do over-exaggerate sometimes. We'll talk about this, we have to take another break. About over-exaggerating the situation could also cost them.
It could.
Because I mean, if they are claiming, I mean, whatever the injury is there, if they're claiming for that, it is their right. But as soon as they start over-exaggerating and then thinking, well, if I do certain things, you know, I mean, I might get more, and they start lying, and this is where they destroy the claim.
Of course.
They basically finish any chance of winning the claim.
And they will be caught out, and that will damage entirely their credibility for the rest of the claim, which is perfectly genuine.
Yeah. Please remember this, that, you know, when we come back from the break, we will want to talk about this because it's very important for my viewers to understand that as well.
Yep.
Thank you. দর্শক, সময় হয়ে গেল আমাদের আরেকটা বিরতি নেওয়ার। বিরতি থেকে আসার পরে আমরা আবার আপনাদের কল নেব। So please don't go anywhere. We'll see you shortly after the break.